Wasteland Weaponistics Episode 39, The Police Pistol. The Police Pistol was first introduced to the Fallout series with Fallout New Vegas' DLC Dead Money. The pistol has only ever appeared in this DLC. So what is the Police Pistol? Well, it's Fallout's version of two different real-world revolvers, the Colt Police Positive and the Colt Official Police. Both of these revolvers were designed and manufactured in the early 1900s to the 1960s. These revolvers were specifically marketed toward law enforcement and government agencies. While the New Vegas Police Pistol is a combination of these two real-world pistols, it does something that neither of these two real-world designs ever did. Fire .357 Magnum. Well, both real-world pistols were chambered in a variety of .38 caliber rounds, like .38 Smith & Wesson and .38 Special. They were never made for .357 Magnum. You see, the first Colt to ever be chambered in .357 Magnum was a revolver that was just called .357. A mostly forgotten about revolver from the 1950s, obviously being eclipsed by the now infamous, or famous, Colt Python. But these New Vegas pistols are not based on this forgotten about .357 revolver. Josh Sawyer has answered multiple questions about this pistol, stating it was based on the Colt Police Positive and the Colt Official Police. He doesn't mention why it's chambered in .357 Magnum. I'm going to guess so they didn't have to introduce a new ammo type for one DLC weapon. And .357 Magnum and .38 Special are practically the same round, it's just that .357 Magnum is actually a longer Magnum version of .38 Special. So, pre-war, this pistol was being used by the Sierra Madre security, who were made up of former police officers that the owner of the Sierra Madre, Frederick Sinclair, had hired to guard and protect his casino and his makeshift town he had created. The strange thing is that, according to the lore, this wasn't happening in the early 1900s or the 1930s, or even the 50s. It was happening in the 2060s and 2070s, shortly before the Great War. So this does beg the question, why would Mr. Sinclair give his guards pistols that were well over 100 years old? Now, I believe these pistols were not actually 170-year-old, but instead were created specifically for Mr. Sinclair. Now, he spent tons of money trying to make the Sierra Madre feel like a building out of the Art Deco age of the 1920s and 1930s. So it's not a crazy idea to think that he would have had a bunch of pistols made specifically for security that matched the theme of the era. Plus, a revolver is actually not as threatening to people as a self-loader is. This is actually one of the reasons why Japanese police still carry a revolver to this day. In real life, there are multiple companies today that don't actually make their own designs, but instead just make reproductions and lookalikes of very old guns. You can get reproductions of Colt single-action armies, Thompson submachine guns, German MP40s, Henry lever actions, LeMat revolvers, Vietnam-style M16s. In fact, you can even get reproductions of weapons that were never even offered to civilians, and only to militaries, like XM8s. Yes, you can get a reproduction XM8. Now, these pistols being a reproduction is most likely the lore reason of why they were issued to casino security. But the game development reason is Fallout New Vegas' DLC, Dead Money, is sort of based off of the 1948 movie, The Treasure of the Sierra Madre. See, Josh Sawyer said that since the Colt police pistols were so prevalent in that movie, he put them in Dead Money. Now, this was Josh Sawyer's only contribution to Dead Money, as Chris Avallone actually designed most of the DLCs. And there are no unique versions of this revolver. And since this pistol is locked inside of the Sierra Madre, there are no post-war factions using this weapon, which is actually incredibly rare for a Fallout weapon that's not a unique. And the only other piece of information I have is that these pistols are considered a holdout weapon for casinos. Now, all in all, the police pistol is a mostly forgettable DLC weapon when Dead Money comes with other weapons like the hollow rifle and the machine rifle, two very powerful weapons. And that will be all for this one. See you guys later.